fun to be able to decorate the interior with plants that you find on the exterior. And of course, the holiday season is wonderful for that. If you've chosen wisely, you will have actually done some gathering way earlier in the season, because some of these are really, really delicate. And what I've done is I've chosen kind of some combinations of plants that you may be able to actually find in your own landscape. If you don't have them in your own landscape, you can actually plant them. So let's start with some of the ones that actually are very delicate and not really very long lasting as cuts for the most part. This is Beautyberry. It's a beautiful color, but they do fall off. This is Blackberry Lilly, which also is either taken by the birds or falls off or spreads itself all over the landscape. A way cool one that people don't really even think about having fruit is Solomon's seal. I managed to grasp this twig before it actually even dropped for the winter. And of course, the beautiful giant alliums are really delicate, really fun, and if you want to, you can spray paint them. And this is sweet coneflower, which is actually one of our native coneflowers, which keeps these little cones all winter long. Then, of course, some of the more common ones that we think about are crabapple. You have to choose wisely if you're going to plant one so that you have crabapples that actually stay on the plant. This is sugar thyme, which is one of the best, and also Autum's. Our native little coralberry is absolutely fabulous. Once it drops its leaves, it will have these little coral-colored berries all winter long, including in the house. And of course, winterberry, going into fall color. You got to have a male and a female. These will also drop. They're pretty delicate, but it's a great plant in the landscape. People don't think about Cotoneaster as actually having good fruit. This one does, and beautiful, beautiful sort of holiday red that again will hang on the plant if you bring it in. Then a little more unusual one is Alder with these cones. This is in the birch family, so these are actually the seeds, even though they look like cones. A beautiful, beautiful native, which is American Bladdernut. These fell off, but you can see how fabulous they are on a twig. And this is a native small tree. And then this was actually one of the absolute most beautiful blue muffin viburnums that I've ever seen, still holding its fruit. And of course, you can collect things like Kentucky coffee tree pods or oak with all those acorns as well. A cautionary note, a lot of people really love the appearance of this. They think it looks like bittersweet, and it does because it's related. This is Euonymus, and this is winter creeper Euonymus, which once it goes vertical and once it starts fruiting, it spreads all over the place. The same thing, unfortunately, is true of our native eastern red cedar. Absolutely beautiful cones on the female plants that are going to spread and produce all of those little eastern red cedars. And another newer one on the list of beware, be careful, and invasive is sweet autumn clematis. So each one of these is going to seed all over the place. So if you're going to use some of these that really have the tendency to take over the earth and are on that list of invasive or potentially invasive species, make sure they don't end up in your compost pile or in a situation outside when they've done their job inside, where all of these cones and seeds can take over the earth.